The aims are modest, talks eventually leading to meaningful negotiations. But the fact that today's discussions between Israel and the Palestinians in Annapolis have been brokered by the US with Arab countries in attendance shows what's at stake. President Bush said that the participants faced a difficult task with the end game, a peace agreement by the end of next year. We're joined live by our Washington correspondent Sarah Smith and Foreign Affairs correspondent Nick Payton-Walsh, who is in Jerusalem. Sarah.
Yes, John, here in Annapolis, it is the first time in 7 years there's been any meaningful attempt to make peace in the Middle East. And at least they are talking about talking. They're even talking about what they would talk about if they get to negotiations and work from there towards a meaningful agreement by the end of 2008, so they say. But the problem is, the people you've got here, President Bush, Prime Minister Ehud Olmert, the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, the thing these men share in common is that they all have popularity ratings at home of less than 30%. So they would all have enormous trouble, with the possible exception of President Bush, of selling to their voters any agreement, if indeed they did manage to achieve one.
The task begun here at Annapolis will be difficult. We're off to a strong start.
They said this would not just be a photo opportunity. But still, they made sure they got it right, for the cameras at least.
Yeah, come on. Organization, represented respectively by Prime Minister Ehud Olmert and President Mahmoud Abbas in his capacity.
These are three men who do agree that Israel and Palestine need a two-state solution. But they didn't come here to agree on what that would look like, just to agree to talk about it.
In light of recent developments, some have suggested that now is not the right time to pursue peace. I disagree. I believe now is precisely the right time to begin these negotiations.
This is President Bush's first real attempt at peacemaking in the Middle East. And he didn't get an answer to any of the big questions, but a promise to try and find the answer by the end of next year.
Higia hazman.
The time has come. We no longer, and you no longer, have the privilege of adhering to dreams which are dissevered from the sufferings of our peoples and the burden of living under ongoing uncertainty. We want peace.
They all know what they have to talk about, and they all know what any solution may include.
Tomorrow we have to start comprehensive and deep negotiations on all issues of final status, including Jerusalem, refugees, borders, settlements, water and security, and others.
Bill Clinton tried even harder to make peace at the end of his presidential term. Then Bush was scathing, believing that failure made the conflict far worse. So President Bush will not attempt to impose a deal himself. Now, one of the things that's changed and got everybody here today is President Bush getting personally involved. He doesn't seem to want to stay personally involved, though. Does he need to if anything's going to work?
I think there will be ongoing engagement from President Bush, from Condoleezza Rice, and my opposite number, the Secretary of State for the United States. But in the end, the final decisions have to be taken by leaders of Israel and leaders of a Palestinian Authority. They are the people who have to make the compromises in the end. But obviously, America has a key role, but so do countries like Britain. We're going to be playing an economic role, supporting the Palestinian economy, a security role, supporting the Palestinian Security Force, and obviously a political role as a permanent member of the UN Security Council.
They say here it is now or never for peace in the Middle East. They've said that before. But it is the last chance for Bush to leave a different legacy in the Middle East. Now, it is significant and optimistic that several important Arab countries are here, including Syria and Saudi Arabia. But not here, of course, are Iran, although this is in many ways all about them. President Bush very much doesn't want Iran to be able to portray themselves as the only supporters of Palestine, and he wants to draw his Sunni Arab allies in the Middle East closer around him, and that's one of the reasons why he's hosting this conference here today. So how's it being seen in the Middle East? Well, my colleague Nick Payton-Walsh is in Jerusalem.
Well, most people here are quietly sceptical about today's summit, which does seem another world away on the other side of the Atlantic. But hardliners on all sides will be making sure their voices are heard through protest. And in the West Bank today, that's translated into ugly scenes, which for many Palestinians could possibly overshadow this negotiation in Annapolis. This is what a divided and nervous Palestinian Authority looked like today. Protest banned, but crowds in Hebron showing how frail order is. Demonstrations by a small Islamic party across the West Bank against the first real peace summit in 7 years. One dead after 3,000 took to these streets. Their protests point that President Mahmoud Abbas is not representing all Palestinians as he negotiates, and the police's point that he's in control, whatever they think. In Ramallah, a standoff at the mosque saw 30 arrested and 1 journalist injured. Shots again fired in the air, police rushing at us with batons after we tried to film these pictures.
This is exactly what Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas doesn't want us to see as he attends the summit in Washington today. We've just been at a protest held against the Annapolis meeting. It was confronted by riot police quite violently, and a car even driven into some of the bystanders. We've been asked to stop filming and moved out of the way.
We didn't have any weapons, we just had flags and wanted to say no to Annapolis. But they attacked us and threw gas at us.
A total of 15 injured, just hours before Mr. Abbas issued a joint statement with Israel saying peace could be built on dignity, freedom and justice. In Arabic, Annapolis means I am the police. Dark humour for darker times. It's a joke often heard in Gaza, crippled by an Israeli blockade. Today, their anti-Annapolis rally didn't require police intervention. That's because it was organised by Gaza's leadership, Hamas. They seized control of this coastal strip from Mr. Abbas's party violently in June and have already said they won't honour any of the deals he might make in Annapolis.
We are the winners, the hard workers. We will go to paradise and be victorious, God willing.
So a tough question remains for Mr. Abbas after the contrast of these scenes from the West Bank with his photo opportunities in America with the Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert and George Bush. Are enough Palestinians still with him?
For Mr. Abbas, there is a basic dilemma. Do these negotiations undermine his position as a bona fide leader of the Palestinian cause, or perhaps boost him as somebody who could offer one day engineering some kind of future peace?
Nick Payton-Walsh.